Hey, how's it going? This is Dr. Guy Guillermo, and I consider myself to be, you know, have some understanding of what goes on with a person's psychology um, at a pretty deep level, all right? And sometimes I'm wrong. This is a time that I feel like I'm absolutely right, all right? So let me tell you a little bit about a story, almost like a parable about two different women, okay? It basically goes like this. All right. Within every single woman, there are two sides. Okay. In every single woman, you're gonna have the seductress, and you're gonna have the um, mom. All right. The mom, her desire, her um, purpose is to protect the body. Okay, which is herself. Right. It's almost like I would even argue to say the closer that a woman becomes with her mom, the more likely she is to go into mom mode. When she is in mom mode, typically her attitude and her um, direction that she's going with her life is more about taking advantage of her man than it is to say seduce her man, right? So let me give you an example. It'll go something like, you know, I made him do this, I made him do that. I get a lot, I give very little. I get a lot, I get very little. This in mom mode is sort of like the you know how would I say like I'm trying to say what do you call it like it's like a prize. Okay, it's like I'm smart. Okay, and the woman that is able to get the most out of the relationship while giving the least is the most genius of the mom modes, right? What tends to happen though is the seducer that is inside of the woman often goes up against the mom mode. Okay, so the seducer is like, let me please my man, let me make him happy, let me make myself happy. I want to wear a short skirt. You see what I'm saying? The people in my mommy and me group over here are going to judge me for wearing this short skirt, but I want to wear it. Okay, so as long as there's conflict between the two sides, there's always going to be a butting of the heads. The problem, or the thing that I see most of the time, is you have a lot of women out there who attempt to eliminate their mom mode. They want to throw that mom mode, I mean, excuse me, not eliminate the mom mode. They try to eliminate the seductive mode. Okay, they try to eliminate the seduction aspect of their personality, like devain themselves in their seductive nature, which means that things like uh, sex, the relationship, what attracted your husband or boyfriend to you to begin with, has now been sucked out of your out of your out of your being, and now you're in mom mode. Your mentality is, I'm doing too much. I'm supposed to be getting something for nothing. All my other friends are getting something for nothing. You're embarrassing me, right? And that's her relationship with her husband, right? Completely anti seductive. I would even go so far. I'm going to talk about a touchy subject, right? Now, let's say there's a girl who um, suffered um, a situation in her life where she had someone in her life um, exploit her seductive mode. Okay, now you can't put an age on a seductive mode. It's not like, oh, I'm 14 now, my seductive mode is here, and I'm 12. It's turned completely off. There is no seductive mode. You see what I'm saying? It's always there. You see what I'm saying? And I would even go so far to say that the seductive mode is more natural, and the mom mode is more societally driven, right? So the society is what enforces the mom mode and how stringent it is or how relaxed it is, right? So back to the story. This girl has her, intimacy, her seduction or whatever exploited, okay, by some unscrupulous person, right? Who, has no scruples or whatever, right? They didn't have a mom, right? And so then this girl finds out by a mom, hey, this person is taking advantage of you in an unscrupulous way, right? And so then what happens is the mom mode kicks in. I'm not supposed to be doing this. This is wrong. But a person is always going to have that seductive mode. It's always going to exist in the background. It's always going to be the the engine that drives the human nature. Okay? So the seduction mode often thinks differently than the mom mode. Seductive mode takes over, does what it wants to do, enjoys itself. Mom comes in, how dare you? You're stupid, you're ugly, you're worthless, you don't know what you're doing, da 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 da. Beats up the seductive, right? And then other times, the seductive is like, screw you, I don't want to have anything to do with you, mom, get the hell out of here, right? You see what I'm saying? But then, you know, whatever. And so the goal of it all is to not neglect or say that this person who took advantage of your seductive mode, who hijacked your seductive mode, who, put a computer virus, right, ultimately in the brain of your seductive mode and hijacked it, okay, it's not to let them get away with it, okay, or say that it was okay or anything like that. It's not to do that, but it is to accept that that exists, that happen, and forever I will always have this quote unquote mental virus, right? But it's not a bad thing necessarily. It can be a wonderful thing if mom would get out the way. Mom in the way is the whole reason that the pain exists because mom keeps saying, you're wrong for liking this, so therefore I'm going to punish you. Okay? It is extremely important that the mom in a person's personality does not try to throw away or ruin or, you know, defang, right? The seductive mode. Okay? And it is not the seductive mode to say, job to say, screw you, mom. I don't know, you, all that kind of shit, right? It's not that job of the mom to do that. The job of the or the job of the seductive to do that. The job of the seductive is to say, I understand, mom, where you're coming from. Okay, this person was clearly violative, okay, and hijacking and all this other types of stuff. And we live in a society where this is completely unacceptable. It's going to reflect bad on you. It's going to reflect bad on me. You know, there's all these technical things and all this other types of stuff, okay? And, you have a job to do, right? So you have to act like there is no seductive mode. And I get it, but I understand that there is, okay? And so instead of beating you up, mom, or calling you a hypocrite, okay, I should understand you. I should love you for who you are and realize that you have some serious weaknesses, okay, in the way that you were built, okay, and I should be a shoulder that you can cry on, and I should not take you too seriously, okay? Because you're erratic, you're going crazy, right? Once these two girls respect each other, okay, the two girls within, okay, everything becomes easy. One of the reasons that men don't sit there and beat themselves up about having being, I don't know, abused by, someone of the opposite sex or something like that, okay, um, you know, that was in a seductive mode or whatever, is because men don't have the huge conflict between the two modes that women do, okay, because that's what women are taught to have as a society, okay. If they were taught as a society that, hey, you know, um, 35-year-old um, female teacher, okay, um, seduces 13-year-old Johnny, okay, and you know, they practically give the Johnny a blue ribbon, okay. The same exact situation happens. Oh, and Johnny brags about it. They practically give him a blue ribbon. But if the opposite happens, 13-year-old Sarah, you know what I'm saying, and 35-year-old teacher, and then Sarah goes bragging about it. Okay, they're not going to give her a blue ribbon. They're going to give her an insane asylum, right? And tell her that she's something very wrong with her and all this other type of shit. Two, if this were eliminated, then half of the battle would be over with. Okay, instead of beating yourself up about this and that and your feelings about this and that and the other, okay, instead, how about circling in on the real enemy, which is a society that treats women so much different than men, specifically in this area, and say, well, Johnny could do it. He gives him a blue ribbon. What if I lived in a world where I were given a blue ribbon for experiencing the same thing? Okay, so that's just food for thought. I love Eddie and Michelle. I was just watching this YouTube channel. The lady says she has some problems and is causing pain and issues and relationship stuff and all this other type of stuff. I understand how this shit goes, so I decided that before I'd watch the video, I'd make my little thing, my little assessment, my assumption. Maybe I'm 100% wrong. Maybe I'm 50% wrong. Maybe I'm 100% right. I don't know. So anyway, best wishes to everybody. Until next time, ciao.